Let's humble ourselves and pray. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amen.
Thank you. Mwetulide. Okugalo bwa Honorable Nakwede na Honorable Ali Bukeke. People power. Abaka wa parliament abali wano, please stand up for recognition. Bakubire ko mungalo batange abaka baffe abalungi mwebali nnyo mwebalire ddala. Abameeya abali wano namwe muyimirireko babalabe. Na komanda waffe Masaka Nakawa mwebali nnyo mwebalire ddala. Councillors LC5 stand up for recognition. And then Councillors LC3. People power. Of course, we would have many more, unfortunately. Because of the rain, some people are not able to be here right now. So we are going to have a very short press conference because we had anticipated to start earlier, but because of rain we couldn't. But you all know what happened to us last week as the National Unity Platform. We lost one of us, and the family, through the brother of Comrade Waiswa, is here to speak to us. And as he comes, I will request us to stand up and observe a moment of silence for our sister Edith Katende, who is no longer with us. May our soul rest in peace. Amen. Amen.
People power. Our power.
People power.
NUP. Everywhere.
NUP.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Brick family of Alex Waiswa Mfungiro, we express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who stood with us during this difficult time. Your prayers, comforting words, presence at the burial, and acts of kindness gave us strength and reminded us that we are not alone in our loss. We deeply appreciate all the support since the unfortunate news of our dear wife demise. It meant more than the words can express it. As we continue to grieve our beloved, we take comfort in the love and care you have shown us. May God bless you all abundantly for your compassion and generosity. That is signed by myself on behalf of our family, and Alex, who were with him yesterday, and the Secretary General. He sends his love. He appreciates all of you for giving his wife a befitting send-off. He is very appreciative, growing stronger by day, and he can't wait. He actually reminded us that his wife was a member of the National Unity Platform. And he said actually she held a membership card to clearly show that she supported him in this struggle. He's still with us, broken but strong, and we shall always continue to move with the National Unity Platform, especially after that moment when you all came together to show us that we are one. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you. A bit of Uganda. Kulwa family ya Alex Waiswa Mfumbiro tubebaza. Nadala family ya National Unity Platform ne bana Uganda bonna abanyolwa wamu naffe nitwebaza obubaka obw'okusaasira essaala zammwe, obugabirizi obw'ensimbi na byonna bye mwasobola okukola okubanga tuwerekera mukyala waffe mu kitiibwa. Bassebo ne bannyabo bannayuganda tubebaza, mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala. Muganda wange Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro abatumira nnyo era abeebaza wadde yali taliiwo n'ekyo n'ekyakolebwa n'omukwano gwe mwamulaga ne mulaga ne mukyala we nga tumwolekera ye mu mutima gwe agamba nti bannayuganda mwamuwola ebbanja lyatamanyi na bwayinza disasula naye ekintu ekisinga obukulu nti ku mulamwa kwali ali simanyi bakyogera mumenefu aye ate nga ali gumite mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala.
Thank you very much. Banaye katukubireko ono musajja kato mu ngalo ez'amaanyi. Mbadde ndaba ennaku ezo ku social media abantu bagamba nti buli omu yali baddeyo ne muganda we nga kato. Era sebo tukwebaza olwa byonna byonna byokoze okuviira ddala mu kalulu ka Comrade Waiswa Kebabba n'ebirala byonna byonna byogenda mu maaso okukola lwa muganda wo. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to address a few things, but of course we begin by reflecting on that unfortunate incident that happened. Some people think that what we are doing is a joke, that it's, you know, some people say politics is a joke, but you can see that these are real issues. You know, many people have lost lives in this work. Many people have, you know, are in detention for long. Some are missing, and many other things have happened to different people. All of you know people have lost livelihoods, like the police officers who were, you know, guarding our president when he was in the campaigns. And as you all know, those people were illegally, you know, chased or dismissed from the police force. So you can imagine what is happening to their families. Of course, we demand for justice even for those police officers who did their work, and this is what happened to them. You all know that our deputy president in charge of Uganda is in detention. We were at the court the other day to follow up on that case. Thankfully, the juveniles, the two children, were released on bail. But you can imagine the pain and the suffering which all these people are charged together with him are going through. Of course, talking about Butambala, you cannot fail to talk about the 7 people. According to some accounts, there are even more people who were killed at the home of Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi. And there is nobody who has been charged with any offenses related to those murders. They are just charging our people with terrorism and other, you know, fake charges. But the real victims of Butambala are actually those people who were shot and killed at that home. So that is just a reflection to show that people like Comrade Waiswa are in detention and who continue to go through a lot of pain and all that, it's simply because they love their country and want Uganda to be better. They have not committed any offense to be taken through that. You all know, and I said this at the burial of Sister Edith, that everybody thought that after stopping the trials of civilians in military courts, we would see justice in the ordinary courts. But you can imagine that the behaviors of the military courts were transplanted into the civilian courts, such that even when fake charges are brought and the regime says, why so now we are charging you with unlawful drilling, it doesn't matter whether you were at Kavure on that day or not. It doesn't even matter whether that is an offense or not. They will hold on to you until orders come from above to indicate that. So, friends, the other things we want to talk about are, 1, this animal called trade order. Trade order. All of you have seen the demolitions going on around the country of different properties, especially of poor people. We want to condemn this in the strongest terms possible. As a National Unity Platform, we believe in development. We want our country to become better. But we also believe that development must be planned. You don't wake up one day, give people insufficient notice, and then come and start demolishing their property. But also, very importantly, that this is being done in a discriminatory manner. All of you have seen that the demolitions are targeting especially the low-income earners, the poor people, not the well-to-do people. We all know big buildings, hotels, whatever, which are built in road reserves. The regime is not going for those. They are specifically going for people who are very poor and without even giving them alternatives. You all remember when they came to Kampala and said they were chasing away the vendors and all that. We said that all of us agree that there should be order in the city. But what alternatives have you put in place for these poor people? Where do you want them to go? And when they turn into criminals and start, waylaying people at night, people start complaining. But if, so we believe that the country must have a planning system. You don't wake up one day and say, now we don't want these people here, chase them without giving them any alternatives. Now they're demolishing people's properties without giving them sufficient notice. You've been seeing these people crying out, saying at least give us 3 months to plan where we shall go. But they come and say within 3 weeks. That is if they've given them a lot of time, because sometimes they give them only 3 days. And they come and demolish all the properties of these people. So we condemn that in the strongest terms possible. And as a national unity platform, say that we stand with the local people, with those poor people across the country who are going through these things. And especially condemn the discriminatory manner in which it is being done. We believe that people must be equal before and under the law. You cannot wake up and start doing things the way you want. Number two, all of you have so far seen General Museveni giving out 100 million shillings. They said they had given them 20 and they are going to give them more to members of parliament of the NRM who were at Shankwanzi. Should we also shame? Should we all say shame? It's very, very unfortunate that, initially, you remember it is the NUP which first broke the story of 40 million shillings in the last cycle. And everybody was shocked. Parliament came out and said, no, this is a lie. Because it was very, very shameful. Nobody could believe that people could just be given money without following any process, without following any procedure. You just get money and gift it to members of parliament. Moreover, members of parliament, as you all know, are some of the highest paid officials in Uganda. So everybody else is struggling. They are telling everybody that the country does not have money, they are increasing taxes, but they are busy getting taxpayers' money and dishing out to officials who are already well paid. So when the 40 million shilling bribe first came out, even Parliament spokespersons came out and said, this is ridiculous, it cannot happen. After that, there was another story which NUP broke. 50 million had been given out. We came here and condemned it, and Parliament was tight-lipped. Then 100 million shillings during the coffee bill and then the UPDF amendment. Again, we came and spoke here. At that time, General Museveni came out and wrote a letter and admitted it, but not directly. He said that's classified budget to keep Uganda secure, blah, 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 all that he wrote. So everybody has been denying, but now, shamelessly, he can stand on a microphone like this and say, I am giving, without going through any processes. These are people who have not even been sworn in, and he says, I've given you this money. Now, all of you know that if these are 400 MPs, we are talking about 40 billion shillings. 40 billion shillings. All of you know that Chirudu, or this hospital in Kawempe here, the referral hospitals, were built at 37 and 40 billion shillings respectively. So those people, in the last parliament, you can imagine how many hospitals were shared by the MPs. Now, they are sharing another full hospital. Don't we say shame? I mean, it is ridiculous. Sometimes you wonder what to say about this country. That now these are people, and maybe that brings me to another point. All of you know, we called you here and told you about LC elections. We called you again and talked about LC elections. LC elections require 52 billion. That is the amount of money which they said is required to organize LC elections. Up to now, when we talk to the Electoral Commission, they say there's no money. That's why the elections for LCs haven't been organized yet. But Museveni is giving out 40 billion shillings to MPs. Does it make sense? That you say you don't have money to organize LC elections? All of us who moved with our president at some point during his campaigns saw the level of poverty across the country. You saw, you journalists were with our president, you moved across this country. You saw how our people are suffering without water. You remember the kinds of roads in the outskirts of this country. You know the situation in the hospitals without drugs. You go around the country and see these pupils who do not have desks, where teachers share toilets with pupils. But people who are already well paid are being given money. Now I saw that election thief, the one who grabbed the victory in Kampala Central, Miss Kavanda. You saw her? She was saying this is Museveni's money, he sold cows. Should I really say shame to her also? Obutaswala owekitalo. That Museveni went and sold his cows, and so she should, I don't think she knows even how to count anything except stolen votes. But if you want to, you do math, assuming every cow is, 3 million shillings or 2 million shillings. Now she's saying that Museveni, how many cows did he sell to get all the billions to give to the MPs? It's ridiculous. This is a man who always tells us that he earned 3 million shillings. You know that. So you say you earn 3 million, and then you send those people who come to say that, this is his personal money. I mean, it's ridiculous to say the least. So, but also maybe my final point, and I don't want to discount what happened. I think that is why the people of Uganda need to take these things very serious. We went around the country telling them to vote, not leave polling stations, and to defend their victory. Now, some of those people tried, and maybe because of the violence, you also what happened here in Kampala and other places. But there are some people who always take these things very lightly. But people need to start understanding that politics is not a joke. That politics is what determines how you live and actually how you die. Politics determines how you are born, how you live your life, and how you are born, and how you eventually die. That is why in some countries the life expectancy is higher than others, simply because of the question of politics and governance. So we implore our people to start taking these matters more serious than that. I remember in 2021, when our president was campaigning, he told the people of Uganda that 5 years of Museveni meant 5 years of more corruption, meant 5 more years of retrogression, meant 5 more years of our children dying children dying young, of mothers dying while giving birth, and all these things. So here we are. The regime is having stolen this particular election. They have started on that exactly. What was even annoying was that the speeches which came from Chankwazi, this is a man who was telling these people that you should avoid being corrupt. And then he crowns up the retreat with a grand corruption scheme. Ridiculous. Basebo ne banyabo tubebaza olw'okujja mu kisaasire tutandise olw'enkuba. Twebaza abakulembeze baffe, bamemba ba palamenti, ba mayors, ba councillors, wena abali wano olw'omulimu gwe mukola. Ate ne tubakulisaayo mu mbeera ez'enjawulo, ne tukulisaayo n'abantu baffe mwena era n'okwebaza. Last week bwe twafiirwa mwannyinaffe Edith Katende mu Fumbiro, eggwanga lyonna at least abantu abagunjufu bayimirira wamu naffe. Era walaba n'aba NRM nga bagamba n'abeera nga kikkiriza, era n'agamba ekyo yakikola lwa butebenkevu bw'eggwanga. Naye kaakati basebo ne banyabo we tutuuse tebakyakikweka, batandika nga bakikwekereza nga bakikolerayo mu mpukutu. Naye kaakati avaayo takubulidde teeka kiryayimiriddeko mu ggwanga lino. Tulina etteeka lye bayita Public Finance Act. Takugambye nti nsinzidde mu tteeka lino mu kawaayiro kano, takugambye kisente zino oba zaaki tezimugende mwekubeko enfuufu. Eryo ly'eggwanga lyaffe basebo ne banyabo lye tulimu. Bw'obalamu ababaka abo bwe baba badde bina ezo biliyoni 4, mbabuulidde nti eddwaliro ly'Ekiruddu ne erimu amalwaliro abiri ery'Ekirudu n'erya Kawempe erimu lyatwala biliyoni 3.7 eddala ne litwala biliyoni 4. Ekitegeeza bano ababaka buli sayiko bwe bagamba nti katwekubeeko enfuufu bakwata eddwaliro ddamba ne bakola ki ne balya. Twavaayo ne tubategeeza ti ssente Museveni zakozesa mu kalulu kali akagwa zaali zisobolera ddala okuzimba amalwaliro agali ku levo yaga amalwaliro ag'Ekirudu ne Kawempe mu buli district mu Uganda. Naye era abantu baffe balinga abatabiraba olumu betwogera nabo. So abantu baffe balina okutegeera nti politics si kazanyo buzanyo. Nga bali mu kukola ekyo, bali mu kwongera emisolo, mbadde mugiwulira mu palamenti, bali mu kwongeza emisolo gye bakuteekako gwe nange n'abantu ffenna ffenna mu Uganda. Naye sente ezo zikola ki? Bazidibuda, bazikozesa ebyo ebitalina mugaso ku muntu wa wansi, ku muntu wa bulijjo. Abaana baffe bagenda mu maaso n'okusomera wansi w'emiti abalirake, n'osanga abantu nga bakozesa amayinja nga ze desiki zaabwe, n'osanga abaana ab'amasomero nga bakozesa toilets ezimu n'abasomesa mu ggwanga lino. N'osanga, yes, thank you, n'osanga abawala n'abalenzi nga bakozesa toilets ezimu era n'obabuuza lwaki muteri ssente. Kakati tubadde tubagamba ebbanga lyonna nti twagala kwetaba mu kalulu ka LC1s. Bano abantu badde batugamba ebbanga lyonna nti tebalina ssente zitegeka akalulu. Akalulu batugamba nti keetaga biliyoni 5.1. Gavumenti egamba terina ssente za kutegeka akalulu, naye bakwata biliyoni 4. Akalulu keetaga 5.1 naye bakwata biliyoni 4 ne bazidibuda bwe batyo. Si kya buswavu ekyo. So awo kyetugambidde nti shame upon them. Ate ebyembi nga bwe badde kyankwanzi speech z'obadde olaba oyo General Museveni nga babadde agamba ababaka mwewale enguzi, kati n'abagamba mwewale enguzi ng'abawa enguzi. Kaakati basebo ne banyabo, ate kino sikyogeddeko na mu Luzungu. Mukimanyi nti tuba twetaaga amu za gavumenti oba amasiga ga gavumenti ageetengeredde. Omulimu gwa palamenti gwali badde gwa kucekinga executive byekola. Judicial naye neyingiramu ne interpreting amateeka palamenti geba eyisiza. Naye kaakati omuntu akulembera esiga erimu bavaayo n'abagamba nti mbawadde ssente ez'okwekuwako enfuufu. Ate mu retreat emu n'abagamba nti saagala kuddamu kuwulira ti president aleeta ekiteeso mwe ababaka ne mukigaana. Eyo tebanguzi basebo ne banyabo. Mu retreat yemu kubanga yasooka n'abagamba nti saagala kuddamu kuwulira nti ababaka ba palamenti bawakanya president byaleese. Kaakati mulabe palamenti etandise era muganda wange Katana agenda kubayogera kuteeka eryo erya sovereignty bill. Kati ababaka ba palamenti basuubira otya okwetengerera ne bagaana ebiteekateeka bwe bityo bye tuze tulaba nga UPDF amendment gyenjogeddeko nga agamateeka agakwata gonna ge bayisa agali problematic gemmanyi obulungi. Ekitegeeza eyo ebanguzi era ffenna nga bannansi tulina ogivumirira basebo ne banyabo. So byebigambo byange ebyo. Njagala kwebaza bana NUP bonna naddala abakulembeze baffe abayambako ku muwala waffe eyali yeesimbyewo kati guild president we Makerere. Mbalange mbakubireko mu ngalo era n'okumuyozaayoza okulaba akalulu ke Makerere ndooza kaalaga eggwanga lyonna lyonna, kubanga eyo Makerere twali tugiyita era tukyagiyita Uganda Summarize. Kakati bw'oba oyagala kulaba omutima gwa Uganda ogulabira Makerere awo, era twebaza abayizi okulaba nga bakyayimiridde ku nsonga bakitegeera bulungi nnyo. Era mu tulubi eryo tulina, we have different flag bearers. Our flag bearer in Gulu is called Tumusime Emmanuel Treasure, and they are voting on Saturday. In Mbara University there is Sebutinde Barnabas, and the elections are 24th April. At Chambogo we have Okelo James as a flag bearer. At Makerere University Business School there is Chisoma Shafiq, elections on 23rd. And Nanyang Shakira Mutesa One Royal University Masaka. Those are our flag bearers, and we implore the students in those universities to support NUP candidates. Institutions, people, please stand up. Our institutions, Muliwa. I thought you guys would be fired up. Namuoza. At least Mali bade mukubayo mubala. Netubawulira.
People power. Our power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. Everywhere. NUP.
Thank you very much, institutions. And now, without wasting any more time, LC elections, we are still waiting for the guidelines from the Electoral Commission. Ngabwe Magambye, bagamba tebalina sente, ne bakwate bali mu kuzidibuda. Naye abantu baffe tubasaba mugende mu maaso mwetegeke, mwesimbewo ku bifo byonna byonna mu bululu buno bwa LC elections. Bano bagamba tebalina sente, naye tumanyi nti era bayinza ozitusulako. Ne bagamba nti kati tubawaddewo ekisibiri zokka akalulu kabeerewo. So abantu baffe tubasaba mu ggwanga lyonna lyonna mugende mu maaso n'okwetegeka. Naffe ng'ekibiina tuli mu kweteekateeka era tugenda kuyita bannamawulire tubabuulire enteekateeka yaffe nga bwe naabeera. So without wasting time, let me now invite Comrade Katana Benjamin, who will invite our Deputy President, Western, who will in that line invite our President. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, SG. People power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. Everywhere. NUP. Madam President and the leadership of the party, ladies and gentlemen of the press and the fellow citizens here and those watching us from wherever you are. The NRM criminal enterprise, like it has become, never runs short of evil schemes. Its latest evil scheme is now called the Protection of Sovereignty Bill. Beautifully named, but motivated by evil intentions. It is very clear that their main target is crippling NUP, because the regime in the previous election, having ensured that the NUP does not get its entitlement from the National Consolidated Fund, was shocked that the members of NUP in the diaspora were able to fund the campaign to its logical conclusion, for which we are very grateful to our members in the diaspora. So they went back to the drawing board and have now come up with an evil scheme called the Protection of Sovereignty Bill. We want to invite all the people of Uganda to take in attention to this evil scheme, resist it and stop it. And all of us can play different roles in ensuring that that is done. This bill has far-reaching effects in addition to crippling NUP, in addition, because one of the things that it intends to do is to identify Ugandans in the diaspora as foreigners. Can you imagine? A departure from the constitution. That your children who have gone to work in Abu Dhabi, in Qatar, your children who are in America and in other parts of the world, when that bill, and if in the unfortunate event that that bill becomes law, they will be considered foreigners. And by implication, if your son or daughter who is on Cheyo, Uganda having failed to give him or her an opportunity to work in Uganda, sends you money and you receive it in Uganda, you are considered an agent of a foreigner. That is how ridiculous and sad that law is. So people should not look at it as just a legislation that is intended to deal with politicians, illegitimate as that would be, but it has far-reaching effects. It also means that if you are working with a school that receives support and funding from a person who is not a Ugandan or a Ugandan based abroad, that you classified as an agent of a foreigner. That if you work in a hospital and the hospital somehow receives support or funding from an NGO or from an individual or an organization that is not a Ugandan organization, that you're classified as an agent of foreigners. And mind you, Uganda already has sufficient legal framework to deal with illicit inflow of money. There are laws about money laundering, there are laws about financing of terrorism and things of that nature. But it is very clear that this scheme now has nothing to do with national security, but they are only using national security as an excuse to further control the citizens. And typical of all dictatorships, they thrive on controlling citizens. They now control what you say, they control what you think, they control what you write. We have people who have been rotting in jail. Our brother Marema is in jail because of a post that he allegedly made on TikTok. So now that phase of controlling what you say, what you think, what you teach in class has been completed. Now they want to control what you earn. And having finished that, if they are not stopped, they will now want to control what you dress. They may even come up with a uniform that all citizens must put on, a uniform of yellow or any other, because that is a form of control to reduce citizens into subjects who are not able to flourish or prosper on their own except with the permission of the dictatorship. That the dictatorship should be able to say this one should flourish, this one shouldn't. And that's how dictatorships world over operate. And when they come to parliament, they want to tell a lie that they are benchmarking on Western jurisdictions. But they forget that those jurisdictions, they are control mechanisms that contain the excesses of the state in terms of due process and protection of private property. Now, they are saying that for you, once you receive that support, if your brother is building a house in Uganda and it sends you money of a certain amount to help him supervise that house, that to access that money, you must get permission from the minister. Do you know what that means? You all know what happens in those public offices when you go to get any help. It means that half of that money will remain in those offices. Because the criminal enterprise has stolen the taxes, the taxes have not been enough. Now they even want to steal the remainder, the money that remains from what they have taxed from you. So we are here, first of all, to condemn in the strongest possible terms that scheme labeled as protection of sovereignty right, of sovereignty bill. We want to call upon the people of Uganda to reject and resist that evil scheme. We want to call upon people with platforms, the media houses, to break down this bill for people of Uganda to understand it very well. Because now they are disguising it as something that is intended to protect the sovereignty of our country. Yet they are the ones that have auctioned the sovereignty of Uganda to lenders in China and elsewhere. But they are now trying to deceive that they are protecting the sovereignty of Ugandans. We want to call upon everyone with the platform, people in churches, to explain this law, the implication it has on ordinary citizens, that the ordinary citizens are equipped with sufficient information to resist and stop it. We want to call upon citizens to petition their members of parliament and call them out to stand up and stop this evil scheme. And those that are able to petition other international organizations to do so. And so all of us can stand in solidarity and stop this mechanism that is intended to further make Uganda a police state where the regime is able to control what you think, what you do, what you earn, what you eat, and what you dress. It has no good intention at all, and the lies and deception that is presented as an intention to protect the sovereignty of Uganda should be dismissed with the contempt that they deserve. Mubufunze mu Uganda ekibiina gavumenti y'NRM nga bwetambulira mu bumenyi bw'amateeka era ne ku luno yavuddeyo n'ekobaani lye bayise protection of sovereignty bill nga balimba bannayuganda n'obawuddisa nti etteeka lino ekigendererwa kyakulaba nti baprotectinga independence ya Uganda, naye mu butuufu ekigendererwa kyabwe kyogera ddala kulaba nti ekibiina kyaffe kino bakisaanyaawo. Bwe twagenda mu kulonda baali bamanyi nti kati bwe baganye NUP okufuna esente ze amateeka gezikiriza NUP okufuna okuva mu consolidated fund, nti ekibiina tekigenda kubeera na capacity y'okurwaninga campaign. Naye bannaffe abali mu diaspora ne basalawo ne bakola omulimu gw'amaanyi ne basupportinga campaign, era nsaba tubakubire mu ngalo. Ekyo ne kibanyiiza nnyo era ne baddayo ku drawing board kati ne bakomawo n'etteeka lino. Etteeka kimu ku bigendererwa by'etteeka lino kwe kulaba nti omunnayuganda abeera bweru wa Uganda kati mu tteeka eryo bajja kuba bamulaba ng'omugwira etteeka bwe liyitamu. Kyekitegeeza ate naawe ow'oluganda oba maama we oba taata we, omwana wo bw'aba akolera Dubai oba America n'akusindikira omutwalo n'akusindikira emitwalo 5, era naawe bajja kuba bakulasifayinga ng'oyo akolera abagwira ate mu bumenyi bw'amateeka. Kiba kitegeeza nti naawe omusomesa asomesa mu ssomero ate ng'essomero eryo lifuna support kuva ebweru w'eggwanga nti oba ofuuse agent w'abagwira, ate abagwira bataagaliza Uganda. Kyekitegeeza kiba kitegeeza nti bw'oba musawo ng'oweereza mu ddwaliro erifuna support okuva bweru wa Uganda, nti naawe oli agent w'abagwira ate abataagaliza Uganda. Toli kayungirizi waabo abagwira abataagaliza Uganda. Kiba kitegeeza ate ekirala nti bw'obeera ne muganda wo ng'abeera mu America n'akusindikira sente nti omuyambe kuzimba ennyumba ye ey'ewaka, nti olina okufuna permission okufuna sente ezo okuva mu Ministry of Internal Affairs. Mwe abantu ababeera mu Uganda ne kati abantu bakuba enduulu nti abagenda kufuna ID ku NIRA osooka kukwata mu nsawo, si bwe kiri? Ate kati bw'oba ogenda kufuna clearance ya $4 million kiba kitegeeza nti hafu zigenda kusigala wa? So bino byonna bigenderedde okwongera kunyigiriza Abannayuganda n'okukontrolinga buli kimu kye bakola nga bw'anakyemalira bwe butera okukola mu nsi zonna ne mu byafaayo. Abannayuganda kino gwe tutavaayo ne tukiwakanya ne tukiremesa, kiba kitegeeza nti tugenda kuba tubawadde omwagaanyo era n'okuleeta ebirala eby'ekisirisuru ebitambulira mu makubo ng'ago. Bayinza n'okuvaayo ne bagamba nti buli munnayuganda abeere ng'ayambala yunifoomu ya yero, ate ne lifuuka etteeka. Naye kati tulina omukisa buli omu waali, bw'oba oli munnamawulire soma ku biiro eno oyigirize Abannayuganda bagitegeere kiki kyetegeeza ku buli munnayuganda.
Naawe omunnayuganda oli eyo bw'omala kutegeera fiire teekako puresha eyeetaagisa ku mubaka wo wa palamenti ne gavumenti okulaba nti etteeka lino tuliremesa ne litayita, kubanga terimu kalungi konna. Excuse gye batera kukozesa bagamba nti bagezaako kunyweza ebyokwerinda mu ggwanga naddala ebikwatagana ne ssente, kubanga esente abantu bayinza ozikozesa kukola obumenyi bw'amateeka. Naye Uganda erina amateeka agawera ate nga gali sufficient. Waliwo amateeka agafuga esente ziyingira eggwanga, naddala sente bwe zibanga ziri za bumenyi bw'amateeka. Waliwo gye bayita anti-money laundering, waliwo ne institution number bagiyita Financial Intelligence Authority ng'emirimu eyo egitambuza. Waliwo etteeka erigaana okusapootinga terrorism and terrorism funding. So amateeka ageetagisa weegali naye lino lyo yadde balwadde erinnya eddungi terimu kalungi konna era ekigendererwa kulaba nti bongera kunyigiriza Abannayuganda. N'olwekyo tusaba buli muntu yenna alina platform okwenyigira mu mulanga guno tuwakanye etteeka lino kubanga terimu kalungi konna lyakwongera kunyigiriza Abannayuganda. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. It's now my honor and privilege to invite our Deputy President in charge of Western Uganda to come and give her remarks. Thank you.
Webali Mnonga Council, a people power, our power. The President of National Unity Platform, the members of Parliament, the Nup leadership, and all of us present here. I have a heavy heart that I want to share with you, even as we live in this Uganda. You know, at times when we are preaching the gospel of change, we tend to be regarded as if we are not really serious. But when calamity befalls our friends, then they run to us. I would like to share with you all, if you're non-responsive as we are sharing the message of change, please stomach your pain. We have continuously seen how the law is applied selectively. And when those people are the other side and they are not affected, they feel all is well until it catches up with them and they are like, oh, you were right. I felt so sad that my brother Waiswa Mfumbiro was denied bail. And there are people who laughed at it. And I said, where has humanity gone? I still feel so sad for my sister Nandutu, even when she stole, that she's there alone. When she was elevated to the ministerial post, she felt all was well. Friends, I have been to jail and I know how it feels to be there. I think wherever she is, she feels so sad. Not that she stole, but because she has been discriminated. She has been singled out of the many thieves that stole the iron sheets. I looked at the list and said, okay, we need to wake up as Ugandans. I'm one person who was detained in 2021 because I possessed a red beret. I saw the MPs in Chankwanzi fully dressed in uniforms, well labeled UPDF. And I still felt so sad. And I'm like, Uganda, where are we going? Friends, we need to raise up before it's too late. Let us condemn all those bills, all those acts, if we feel they are not serving the local Ugandan. Because those that have received the 100 million will not be there for us. With those few remarks, I beg to invite Organda Ningor Nyankori. Well, Omuru Nyankori, ndiyo ninyeshenjereza buli omu Omunya-Uganda. Ngutwaba nituleta message ya change. Mutaka tusigira mukagira ngo ebine by'abantu bamwe. Niyo ninjira obundi nitubagambira cyaba kitaka kwishikireho ogirote ekiti cyanje otureka. But ko kiri kumara kuhikaho mpurira omushija wakira azanangwa no Munyankori kanso. Chairman wa Kirogo wa NRM amazina gagambire gabire gari y'amanyankore. So obu yabirataka kikirweho wakareba ngo NRM ninungi, but kukimaze kumuhikaho yabona kututakira. so nanye ndiyo nimbagira ngo wa washazire mu kunama ohuname ofe n'obuzibu bwawe then ngaruka ndeba mu sister wanje ogunandutu we kuba muhiro bwa minister yamanya ngo bya Uganda yabimarayo we yaterera hati kubagire kumukwata bamukwata ari wenka konka listi tukagireba amabati gakabura gakaramoja abakaramoja timurugayo tukerwanaho tukabuza ababibira amabati gitu twena turi hamwe abashuma then turabe tugira ngo obushuma tibushyikire twakwata omushuma tubakwate bona tubabonereze umurundi gumwe tubone kwereka ngo kituri kugamba nekitu twena tukagumana tugamba ngo bantu mwe tuhindureho abantu bayanga kuba amazire kubashenya nkaraba ntungamo kuriya nareba mwe no bajwire t-shirt za nupu bari kutangwaza mukatugambira twayanga mandi yo ninzira ngo twimuke tutakarinda mu kibanze cyatufikaho tubone kwiciriza ngo twetaga mpinduka nyowe bakankoma ahabo kugira ngo nkanyine bereti ya nupu eri kutukura ibirabire nagumwe nigwa mshango gubansharire batkunjire kurebana ari abari cyankwanzi bona n'abatari bamahebo n'abajwire bijwaro bihadikireho UPDF nayebuza bona bo kubararugeyo ni mubakoma n'ingabo selective mwabareka nebyo bice like I said omutima gwanje guri heavy about how we are being treated in Uganda, but I'm praying that the God that we serve will give us the victory and so soon. Mwenyekirize yasheka ubiyasheka yakichenga. Allow me invite our beloved Your Excellency, the President, who has held the fort so well. Kindly come and speak to the people. Thank you.
Sister wanje, nachichenga, people power, our power, people power, oritia, tuero padano, tuero wa. Yes, thank you so much. The Secretary General, Tata Kampala. The Treasurer, Council Katana, here present. My sister and my twin, my beloved, my roommate in the basement, yes. In the basement. We didn't know where we were, but yes. Your Excellency Jole Tukamushava, the members of Parliament here present, the mayors here present, the student leadership. You have lit the fire. You saw Makerere. I recognize you here present. Media, what can we say? You are here with us amidst all the animosities. And the staff of the Secretariat, flagged here present by our Chief Admin, Executive Secretary, that's Auntie Sarah, and all you here present in your different capacities. Good afternoon. Nachichenga, but I first want to start by congratulating each one of you for surviving the bloody pre-election day and post-election and up to today. I invite us never to forget those who have lost their lives. Some we don't even know. and their families. May we observe a moment of silence and remember them. Eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord, and let your perpetual light shine upon them. May they rest in peace. And of course, with our president, the de facto and de jure president of the Republic of Uganda, I get emotional because he's not here. We know the reasons. I therefore implore each one of you never to forget that. Your Excellency, we are continuing to respond to your call to keep hope alive. Today I stand on that authority you granted. I want to thank each one of you who have turned up in the rain. I want to also welcome the team back from the burial. We don't forget that. I would like also to join the Secretary General to thank Kato. Kato, where are you? We will not get tired of thanking you because you have given us a reason to. And also call on each one of you, those in prison. From a personal experience, I know what it is to be visited. To be visited in prison. The Kaishas, we don't forget them. I would like to start also from the point of the ridiculous bill, the Sovereignty Protection Bill 2026, but also to remind you that we can together stop that barbaric bill, because last year, I do not know how many of you remembered, there was another ridiculous bill called the Religious and Faith Organizations. It was actually a policy which aimed at stifling the operation of religious practices. You were called upon, many of you participated, and I do not know, Council Musisi, whether it saw the light of day, because it needed to, it was to regulate us, accountability, register all churches and places of worship, vet who prays where, and it would be directly under the office of the presidency, SFC, CFC, and the rest. But Ugandans mobilized together. That did not see the light of day. We have another one at hand. But however, we are also called upon to see the mischief, the timing. The timing of this sovereignty protection bill. Something else is happening. We need to be open and we need to be awake. I would also like to bring to our attention, the continued abductions, the threats. They are real. Blue TikToker whose phone was not on, actually robbers. We are demanding for her release. We even called the wife. So that my call is, let's be each other's keeper. We do not get tired of being each other's keeper. My other call is, when you have an information, you need to clarify, you need to give it to us. Our headquarters remain open. It is our place. And we are right now operating under the theme of keeping hope alive. Keeping hope alive. And we have some regional offices, so we have to continue to be who we are, knowing that there are prices to pay for that, knowing that it is a duty. We owe to two categories of people: the dead, we have them, and others in their different locations. We owe it to the dead and to the unborn. Chino struggle, we are holding it in trust. We are holding it in trust. Kubanga tugenda kwambala engule. We are going to wear that. We are. What I cling to is the fact that our president, the de facto and the jure president of the Republic of Uganda, are he safe? Are he very safe? Having beaten all the odds, deployment massively, but he escaped. Isn't that a miracle? Isn't that a revelation? Today I'm not going to deal on the lamentations. We're in the Acts of the Apostles. If there's one reason you really cling to, we are going to Ambale Ngule. Our president is alive. Our president is not silent. Our president is continuing to inspire and hold the globe accountable. Can't we clap for that? So, do not go to your shelves. Do not lament. Be who you are. Call upon all of us. Call us even to order. We know we have the challenges, finances, logistics, and so on. Now, when we remember where we started, as his song says, if you want to give up, remember where you started. Yeah? Remember where you started and why you started. Each one of you is here because you believe. Iradara. We are creating and going to the book of Revelations. That's why when they arrest us, incarcerate us, arrest some people even naked, we come out stronger. They are taking us for baptism of fire. We come out stronger. We didn't, even some people who did not think they would ever join. From the burial of my daughter, of my sister in Luka, people spoke in action, in unity. Kumanga, many of them are also saying, it is too much, Ranange. It is just too much. No human being can deny a very innocent person maliciously. Our institutions are being run mechanically by malicious robots. Okay? But it gives us the reason that the world over, and even the inspiration from our president, if they did it, Nafe, we can also did it. Seeing you people here present in the rain, calling to action, it is so powerful. It is something money cannot buy. It is transformational. It is priceless. The 100 million, we already stated that bribe, that enterprise is a failed enterprise. Because that 100 million, it goes through the stomach. What goes to the stomach? Where does it end? Where does it end? Chencho. But each one of you here, priceless. I know students who are coming, walking from Chiambogo, because they believe in the cause. We are convinced. Ours is a very powerful conviction that together we will go and we will definitely wear the ngule in our time. Okay? So we are on the right path. History is on our side. Time is on our side. Because when you see at the faces, you see youthfulness. You see life. Where 100 million is being distributed, you also see the difference. Today is let us hold on, as the readings of today stated, that we must hold on to the truth. Faith is not partial, it requires trust and surrender. The one who comes from above is above all, and that is our hope, that is our faith. Hold to your prayers, hold to your hope, hold knowing our president, we are going to welcome him in our time, and very soon, by the way. Very soon. That is the message I am to re-emphasize. Togwamu mani, topowa, nyandeko, amandekeko, eyomokeni idera, badi andekibo, badi andeke ambamba, jo gu oloko. So, with so much excitement, but also with so much challenges, I would like therefore to pause, because many of you also had things to tell us, specific areas that you like us to contemplate on, but mine is Togwamu manyi, topowa, nyandeko, pay all. Yes, thank you very, very much. People power, our power, NUP, and everywhere.
Thank you very much, Mama. A hand clap for our acting president, Mama Lina Zedriga Waru Abuku. You can take your seats, please. Thank you very, very much. Basone Banyabo, we are going to take only 3 questions, if they are there. Only 3. Are there any questions from the media, strictly? Yes, Waiswa from Busoga. Just a minute, please.
1 minute. May I recognize the presence of the flag bearer, Kiambogo University, please. Flag bearer, Kiambogo University. Yes. This is our flag bearer. I totally forgot. And also Shakira from Mutesa Royal University. And any other de facto flag bearer. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mama is coming to take a picture. Shakira, please come back so that you have a picture with the president. People power, our power. Go and win. Make sure you bring those victories home. As you know, NUP is indeed building for the future. So these are future leaders, not only for NUP, but for the country. So that's why we try our best to ensure that we have these leaders. And of course, we hope that you will not sell us out. You will never sell out the people's cause. Because sometimes we get challenges with leaders who emerge and then eventually sell out. Yes, please. Why is Wagenda Masuliwa?
Amaina Waiso Moses Sogawan. SG okusinzira misinde eteeka lino engeri gye balireeseemu ate nga tulaba Parliament ene 11 already eteeka lino bwe balireetedde ate bammemba ba Parliament abasinga obungi abali mu Parliament 11 baagwa ebigo. Bano abantu bano sibe baagala okukozesa okuyisa etteeka lino kati nga party ewabulwa gavumenti kiki kyemweteeseteese okukola nga babaka bana ba palamenti y'ekumi bagikozesezza oyisa kiteeka lino.
Thank you. Any other question? Yes, Baba. Yes, Baba.
Change nzomanya pesera bimulusi mbero topic nyinzo baletere chenja olokati ate ne mwewunya
okongera ku bintu ebikozesebwa ensonga y'emisolo gitwalabanga baleeta proposal ministry ya finance ey'okwongera ku misolo ng'ate eggwanga liraga nti embeera gyerimu terina akasente kamala.
Anything else? Kale ekisooka badde mbalamu wano nga oyo mukyala wenjogeddeko mubbi wa kalulu yabagambye nti batunze ente okufuna biliyoni 4 ze bagenda okuwa ababaka nensanga nga beetaaga kutunda nte mitwalo 2 simanya ani aziguze oba ne katale kike bazitundiramu buli emu bwe tugibala ku miliyoni 2 baba beetaaga kubanga batunze ente emitwalo 2. Nolwekyo wanange bana abantu batulabako amatu batuyita ki novaayo noyogera ekintu ekyobuswavu ekyobusiru bwe kityo ogamba nti zino sente sizamuwa omusolo atunze ente ze n'atuwa ku kasente era nobeera ng'okuddaalira bannansi. Ebyo byonna biva kuba nti abo abantu bakimanyi bulungi nnyo nti abantu tebabalonda so basobola okuddaalira ensi bwe batyo naye era abantu gye bali ne Katonda gy'ali. Kakati ekibuuzo ekisooka kibadde ku sovereignty bill. Sovereignty bill yes bagireese mu parliament eno eriwo naye era nga comrade Katana babanyonyodde tebawo omuntu n'omu eyeeyibaala n'alowooza nti asobola kusurviving eri etteeka oba oli mubaka wa parliament oba oli ki bagenda likozesa kubanga ate abo bennyini bogamba abatayiseemu bebaali badde bayiga kyali badde kibawa ekyokuyiga ne bamanya kye bakola kati bagenda kuddayo mu communities ezo ate bibalakire. So tubasaba ababaka ba parliament namwe mwebereremu kubanga omuntu otuukira kuba mubaka wa parliament oba osubirwa mu really okuba ng'otegeera nga osobola okuanalyzing ensonga. Kati baleeta etteeka ne bakugamba nti lino etteeka simanyi okuyingiza sente mu Uganda olina okugenda wa minisita n'ofuna olukusa ate nga comrade Katana babagambye mukimanyi bulungi obubbi obubeerawo ogendagenda mu kitongole ekyo ogenze kusaba permission oba approval bakugambe bwewagala approval olina otuwa half year sente ezo oba okitegeera. So katusuubire nti ababaka ba parliament ku luno oba oli abanaabeeramu n'okwerowooza bo nga bo baligaane kubanga eryo etteeka oba oli wa NUP oba oli waki kyonna ligenda kukusanga liku affecting nga kati bino ebyokumenya amayimba g'abantu byetutandikiddeko tebasosola nti oba oli wa NRM oba oli ki mpoza abo abagaga benkugambye bebalekayo kubanga bo oba oli awo balina kyebabatemera ne batabamenya. Ensonga endala ey'emisolo sebo nabadde nja addresses already kubanga nakyogedde nti bali mu kwongeza abantu emisolo ku bintu byonna ebikozesebwa bulijjo ate nga bwe badibuda sente ezo batugamba nti ensonga lwaki bali mu kwongeza sente lwakubanga tebalina sente. Ensonga lwaki bongeza emisolo tebalina sente ate mu bbanga eryo lyennyini ne batugamba nti buli mubaka bamwokyezaayo bamuwaddeyo kebamuwadde. Of course n'ensonga mama gyayogeddeko nkulu nnyo mubalabye abo abantu nga bambala uniform z'amagye nga ziriko UPDF nga tebalina kibalowooza kwegamba n'obalaba nekikwewuunyisa ng'ate mama babagambe bamutwala nti yali ayambadde ka red beret kokka naye mbadde mbalaba abamu nga bambadde full combat actually ate ne bavaayo Kyankwazi ne bagenda kuziika mu byalo eyo nga bambadde uniform ziwandiseeko UPDF kwegamba Uganda bwetyo bweri. Sebo chairman waffe owe Lwengo jagala kwito tuwe sala igalawo olukiiko lwa leero. People power. ababaka baffe abaze a bit late tubawubiddeko mwebale nnyo okutuuka. Honorable Maseruka ayimirira abantu bakulabeko. Honorable Dravire Sheira munaffe weka Mwenge naawe oli mubaka waffe newakubadde tebakulangirira naye oli mubaka waffe. Honorable Zambali bangambye wali aliwa sebo jangu naawe obeere wano ne Honorable Dravire aje bana abantu babakuba akafaananyi nga Honorable Kaluya. Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much for coming. Mwebale nnyo ne bakansalazi abalala abatujoyininze late mwebale nnyo okutuuka. So chairman Arabic kitandikise ne Luwalabu era so kiwa ne Luwalabu tekina buzibu. Then oluvannyuma n'otuyimbira oluyimba lwaffe olw'engule ne tugenda.
Thank you so much, Secretary General. Ladies and gentlemen, let us humble ourselves for the prayer. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. All of us say amen. Now we are going to see Olutalo ngaluwedde tuliyambale ngule tuliyambale ngule tuliyambale ngule olutalo ngaluwedde tuliyambale ngule tulizimba Uganda empya. People power, our power. Thank you so much. Chizita Abbas, Chairman LC5 Rengo District.
Let's live with Mama living fast and the rest of us. Bangambe Gil President Mutesa Loyo naye waali simanyi lwaki tebaleese erinnya lye. Oh yo ayina okay twamanjudde action.
Abalonje, it's my boy AK Commander as usual. Welcome back. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Muli mutya bana ba mama, muli mutya ababeera ko, muli mutya abasharinga AK Commander, muli mutya
lifestyle content, live streams, analysis and adventures across the region. Subscribe, like